You're fired. The words snapped through the air like a whip, silencing the soft clinks of cutlery and murmured conversations. The manager's voice thundered across the upscale restaurant as he jabbed his finger toward the young waitress standing frozen in front of him. Her name tag read Eleanor, and though her hands trembled slightly, she stood tall, eyes locked forward, lips sealed shut. The whole room had gone still. Diners turned to stare. Champagne flutes paused mid-air. Eleanor didn't move, didn't defend herself. The only thing that shifted was the subtle tightening of her jaw. The manager's face was flushed, and his voice rose again. "How dare you embarrass me in front of VIP guests? One spilled glass and you're done. Out, now." She had only made a small mistake, accidentally bumped a half-empty wine glass while clearing plates. It hadn't even broken. The man it spilled on had laughed it off, brushing her shoulder kindly, saying, "It's just a shirt." But the manager wasn't looking for grace, he was looking for control. And tonight, Eleanor had given him a public excuse to flex it. What he didn't know, what no one knew, was who was watching from table 6. A man in a tailored navy jacket, seated alone, had been observing the entire scene. His posture didn't change, but his eyes sharpened. He had seen the tension from the moment Eleanor approached the table, the nervous way she kept glancing toward the kitchen, the manager hovering with a hawk's glare behind her. And now the public takedown, right here, in front of everyone. Humiliation served as the final course. Eleanor stood her ground for a moment longer, then gave a small nod and turned to leave. She didn't cry. She didn't plead. She just unclipped her apron and walked toward the back, her figure stiff with silent dignity. The restaurant seemed to exhale as the manager straightened his collar, proud of the spectacle he'd made. But then the man at table 6 stood up. He didn't speak loudly. He didn't raise his voice. He simply walked over to the manager and said, "That was the worst display of leadership I've ever seen." The manager blinked. "Excuse me? Who the hell are you?" The man calmly reached into his inner jacket pocket and pulled out a leather ID wallet. Inside was a gold corporate card with the logo of the restaurant chain emblazoned in sharp embossing. The text beneath read, "Regional Operations Director, Marcus Steele." The manager's face drained of color. Marcus turned toward the stunned diners and gave a short nod. "Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the interruption. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Your meals are on the house tonight." He then turned back to the manager. "Follow me," he said coldly. In the back, where Eleanor was quietly gathering her things, Marcus entered and saw her wiping her hands nervously on a cloth napkin. She looked up, startled. "Sir, I was just leaving." "No, you're not," he said. "You're going back out there in 10 minutes, and I'm promoting you." Her eyes widened. "What?" Marcus nodded. "I've been visiting locations undercover for a month. I saw how you treated that elderly couple last week when no one else wanted to help. I saw you bring food to a homeless man at the alley door. I saw how you stayed late to clean up after staff walked out. You're the kind of person we want leading teams, not getting fired in front of strangers by a bully with a name tag." Tears welled in her eyes, but she held them back. "Thank you," she whispered. Marcus walked out of the kitchen and handed the manager a clipboard. "Your employment is terminated immediately. You may collect your final check at the head office." The man sputtered, tried to speak, but Marcus didn't bother listening. His tone made it clear this wasn't up for discussion. That night, Elena returned to the floor, not as a server, but as the interim floor supervisor. Word spread fast. Diners clapped when she reappeared. Some stood. One even toasted in her direction. The man whose shirt she had spilled wine on gave her a wink and said, "Looks like I got the best service of the night." Over the following weeks, Elena thrived in her new role. Staff morale improved, guests left more generous tips, and eventually she was officially promoted to manager of the location. Her style was different, quiet, respectful, firm but fair, because she had learned what it felt like to be embarrassed in public, and what it meant when someone believed in you anyway. As for Marcus Steele, he continued visiting restaurants in disguise. He always said you learn the truth about a place not from the smiles on opening night, but from how they treat the people no one notices. And sometimes all it takes is a quiet observer at table 6 to turn injustice into opportunity. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.